What's up, fellow gamers? Phreak here. Welcome back to my Chrome difficulty playthrough of Cyber Knight's Flashpoint. We are getting ready to play the next story mission of the sort of opening storyline, which is Loophole Heist. If we complete this mission, we get to remove our entire debt payment to Octane, which is nice because we have very little money. Since we last played, we basically forwarded legwork on. We did our ability training as best we could. We've managed to put Nat here into the SimStream trainer. We leveled up on both the Cyber Knight and the hacker here. So for the hacker, we managed to fill out the parts that matter about null op. Technically, in a mission like this, it would be relatively useful to have the recharge, but of course, no spare points for that one. And for the Cyber Knight, just spent some different points now that we can actually learn. We have the kind of the spare space to learn Downer. There is a world where we undo these 2 points and get a point in Atomic Stutter. It's arguably stronger in actual practice, but I guess I am kind of limited. I would have to like also undo learning Downer, which I don't think is important enough here. So we've got our core 4 agents, and let's go ahead and run. This is a 2-part mission, so it's probably going to be a slightly longer than normal recording. Also, it has 2 Matrix hosts in lower level. We'll see how that turns out as well. But let's get it. We have, of course, already seen this enemy type in a prior mission, but sure. And yeah, the goal is to go down there and get our rewards. So, yeah, there's basically not much to grab here. There's basically 1 lockbox here. I guess, sorry, a second one down there as well. And generally speaking, like even if we say, hey, go show me what automatic pathing would be, like theoretically, this way is slightly faster pathing-wise. But if you want that box, this way is faster. And so realistically, getting this box to that box and running in is a relatively straight shot here. Now, the only real concern is what are the odds I get caught out if I choose to wait? Now, the fact that you are not turning on your turn, and the fact that you are almost certainly not going to be able to see me in time, means I'm willing to risk just saying, let's go, we'll hit Tactical Surge, and we'll just pause and let time tick down. So, as we slowly take away 10 initiative every single time, we finally let the enemies go. Yeah, you're doing nothing special. You're turning back and forth, which is fine. You're also not special. I will be sad if... Actually, it'll be okay anyway. Yeah, so you're the one at 10. Thankfully, I can delay Casper. Otherwise, he'd have to like lose his entire turn. Unless we thought he could absolutely one-shot this person. Okay, so we get all of our turns back-to-back. Generally speaking, pretty optimal to take all your turns back-to-back. If we screw something up, I mean, ideally she would go last. I can, actually, it's probably correct for me to, yield on her, let the melee characters go first. It's generally always superior as it stands. And so I could, for example, get this far and then slash slide one person. What I think I actually want to do is see if I go here, I can slash slide for the first 2 AP, and then slash slide a second time, and that's going to be like the most AP efficient version of damage plus movement. He's got a sword, he's been seen, slash slide will roll to hit. We get a crit, that's actually really awesome, so good start there, buddy. And then probably about here, will give us a second slash slide so we can go for the second chance to kill. I'm going to go this way, I think it's slightly better. Puts me closer to forward. So he gets spotted. I don't really care. Should be safe to go kind of as far forward as he wants to be. We rolled the damage, but at the end of the day, I guess we rolled really low on the damage. Because I believe the listed damage of this sword is 300. 33% armor means, you know, it'd be around 200-ish, but you can roll 75% basically. And so can easily roll and like not actually get optimal damage output. Right, and they're still both alive. We get a graze that time, but it's more than enough damage. So sword people got to essentially move at full speed while still dealing damage. It's pretty nice because no one else can do that. The difficulty is you absolutely must get actually into range. Okay, that seems reasonable. I'm going to be well within attack range. No one else can hear the shot. If I went to the AR, these two would also hear it. Like, we can hover over and you can see, like, we're nowhere close being able to, like, be out of earshot, so it's just take 2 shots. Ideally, she would go after Casper. Wow, that's really fortunate. Good job. But ideally, she would go after Casper because she can still disable this, but I can always disable it next turn, and it's not a huge deal. So you can just run in a straight line. Nothing really to do but go as far as you can. But pretty good first turn. Slash Slide allowed us to deal damage without spending action points, and of course had to spend still 3 on the Cyber Knight, but that's fine. She can mostly just run during the next turn. And we can probably get down, well, I mean the 3 escalation per turn makes it a little bit tougher, but we can probably get into a decent spot in the relative... Oh, he's not in range for that just yet without getting closer. Okay, I'm going to let this guy use his turn up. Actually, I could probably just go for a kill, right? We'll have the camera disabled by the Cyber Knight. He can just run up and take the kill, and then... Yes, there are guards there, but until they know something, it won't matter. So we'll go for the Power Slice. Sadly, we get a graze. Go ahead and take the camera down now, because I think it'll be fine. We'll have enough time to get everything that we want. And then... Let's see, I don't want to yield too hard, because... Here, I will yield behind one person. Once again, can let Inkblot kind of go here, and this should be fine. We'll have Casper grab this, and then Cyber Knight is going to run in a straight line for the most part. So I believe even a graze will kill. We get a full hit damage. And there we go. The 200 damage was what expected. What is expected for those characters. And then Cyber Knight probably can't quite make it during the next turn. So we'll be basically evacing when it's ticking toward Sec level 1, but it won't actually be Sec level 1. That's going to be my estimation here. Let's actually turn off magnetism and try to get right there. You can cheat a little bit. It'll give you just a little bit of movement. And I think it was actually pretty relevant. It was close. And we're just going to kind of hope that no one does anything funky here, but we should be fine. I could have waited and simply delayed, but these guys don't move. We saw them last turn, they didn't move. If they don't move for one turn, they don't move ever, as far as I can tell. Yes, you're not quite going to make it during your turn. And the one difficulty is also they can hear. So I believe it's correct to just yield. There's not really a reason not to yield. We'll let everyone else go. Yeah, you're still just turning back and forth. So if I did screw up, it still wouldn't matter. We know what you're still doing. And then you run fast enough that you can spend 1 AP to get to the box. Grab it. Not a ton of stuff from this, but it wasn't going to really... It won't lose us any time in actual practice. We're still waiting for the Cyber Knight to be ready to go during turn 4. Oh, you are running forward. I'm glad I waited. Alright, so this makes it a little bit tougher. Because we really want this kill. And the question I also have is, like, how many AP do I have to kind of leave up? This needs a round... Like, if I got all the way to here, right, I would need to spend another maybe 3 action points. I would say it's 3 action points, so I should spend 3 action points running forward. And that's going to be my sort of limit. So around here leaves me still unseen. Actually, one thing I should have thought about is we're all going to have 3 more AP next turn from Tack Surge. So it's not going to be a huge concern. Bringing you down to 11 is a pretty big deal. I guess one other possibility is to not shoot. Let her turn around next turn. Because no one else is going to show up. And realistically, we don't have to kill her. We're outside our vision range, right? It says unaware. And so we could say, actually, we'll just wait till under 11 initiative. You'll turn back around. And then we'll just get to go again. And just to be, like, really safe, I'm going to, like, run 1 AP back in case, I don't know, there's, like, some weird, like, non-symmetrical vision cone or something, which I think is very unlikely. Also, Reloading is probably wrong. I actually want the +1 initiative here to make sure I can go early. It's got value because, you know, we can maybe just go at the start of the turn instead of, like, waiting for yielding and whatever, right? But this should be enough with Tactical Surge to make it. Bring everyone, you know, reasonably close to the edge here. And again, like, the first 3 AP gets you to there, the other 3 AP, and actually it's going to be the other 6 AP. Like, I'm not concerned. We should be totally fine. Fastest route is still that way. Okay, fine. We'll put you, you know, here or so. So far, our rolls are higher. This camera turns on next turn, but we should be okay. Because it'll turn on, and then, like, even if it sees me, it won't matter, because this turn won't actually, like, happen, essentially. And then, you know, none of the bad guys can do anything. So you're too far away to matter. You're the only going ahead of Hemlock. And then, yeah, I'm going to check to see, like, how high up the stairs I'm allowed to go. But it looks like I'm allowed to go pretty far and still be okay. So, again, the only person who can go is you. You don't matter. Off we go. So there's one. And again, yeah, everyone has 3 AP to spare, so even Tactical Surge wasn't needed. But hey, it was, you know, a little bit of safety at the end. So, managed to get a pretty stealthy run through. Basically, you know, 9 minutes to clear out phase 1. Not bad. And really couldn't have done much better than having about 9 security pips. But now here comes the tough one. So, many thoughts here. Okay, so this mission's interesting because the main mission is just go here, then get out. And if we can complete it with really low security, we get to feel all special. And I don't actually remember what the quest reward is for completing it with low security level. I just know it exists. Otherwise, though, of course, we can loot stuff. Which, yeah, there's these 2 boxes here. And 2 Matrix hosts. Unfortunately, it's really hard to have 2 hackers on your team. And even if you did have 2 hackers, his bioscan field would make your life really miserable. What's also tough is there is a ton of security at the start here. You can knock down some of it, right? You can get rid of the motion field, but there's a camera in the way. There's radars. Like, this turns 90 degrees and comes over here, then comes back. That one does similar stuff. Like, we can stand... You know, depending on how this arc goes, I forget how far it goes exactly, but let's assume it goes to, like, here. You know, have, like, a little bit of area here where you can stand, but, like, this is still in the way. We don't have a ton of ways of disabling all of their vision and whatnot, so it can be a little challenging. Ultimately, you running that way is fine, because I tend to send my entire crew on this side, just because that way we only have to bypass motion sensor plus camera, and that's it. An alternative is to... knock down the laser wires instead, and then we can bypass the camera on top. Difficulty, though, is that my hacker has to get through this motion field. We either trip the security, or we disable it. And, I mean, we could, like, disable motion field and laser wires, and so one crew goes this way, one crew goes that way. That's reasonable. The big thing, though, is that, like, these 2 hosts are going to take, like, a combined 9 turns to hack. Which, that takes a while, right? That's actually fairly slow. So... Thinking somewhat about this, I mean, there's probably a guard up here, there's a guard up here, there will be guards over here. Reinforcements, you can see this would be a gate, this would be a gate, that would be a gate. Generally speaking, I mean, technically, I've actually seen them do maps, they stream their level design sometimes. And technically, like, reinforcement spawns are they're just placed, they're just squares put on the map, but they tend to put them in, like, supported by art places. So if there's, like, a ladder that comes up, or, you know, again, doors like this are like, oh, okay, they'll set a square here, and so reinforcements could spawn there, or they could spawn there, or they could spawn there. If they wanted to, they could be like, they spawn here, with no reason why you'd think that would happen, but obviously they don't do that, because that would be kind of silly. You still have not gone, and I think ultimately, as I just keep thinking about what I want to do for this turn, and for this mission, I think it's actually drop down lasers and drop down motion field, and we send the hacker straight through, and then the other crew all goes around the right hand side, and, like, we'll go in sort of more of a big sweep here. This camera is going to be kind of annoying to deal with, but don't have a good way around that one. I'm gonna delay everyone. Oh, right, I can't easily delay everyone first, but what we'll do basically is Now that they're all... Actually, they're not going to be behind. They're going to go back ahead of her in initiative. So I was trying to wait on Tactical Surge, but nope, it's not going to work that way. What I will do, though, is still security scramble that, so that my hack can go in a straight line. And then, again, yield everyone. I guess I could run a little bit first, and... I'm going to maximize some movement. Yeah, we're going to put you here. Just in case he's not going first. I just want to drop this. And you actually can get a second charge of Line Crawler and increase the chances to 80%. So, you know, I could have invested more heavily in his disarming tools, but I didn't. But we're going to let this guard move. Now that we know where they're headed, it's a lot easier to deal with them. Don't have to be worried about as much. And so now, how much can we maximize? Obviously, our melee characters would be nice to use reasonably well. If we yield, she goes to 1, and we can get both melees to act, which seems like a pretty good idea. Yeah, nowhere close to in range for a slash slide just yet. I believe this will be out of range as well, but I'll check to be sure. Yeah, so I'll have to burn one more AP just to get in range. And, you know what, for fun... So, yeah, I believe... And I could, of course, be wrong, but I believe that I can crouch, and that'll give me enough distance to still land slash slide. And if I am wrong, I'm going to be very sad. Thankfully, I am not wrong. So we're going to go as far forward as we can. This does risk blocking line of sight for somebody shooting up there, but we should be okay. It also maximizes my distance forward, which is useful. He's got 1 AP left, and I think realistically actually shooting that one is better, because... we only have so many shots there, and we're going to very easily kill the guy in front. Especially because Inkblot is going to slash slide as part of her movement. We know I have to go to about... yeah, probably to about here to have the shot at it. So that's pretty much a straight line. She'll get seen. That's okay. And then we're going to slash slide very far forward. It's still in the range to hit him. There's our pick. If this camera turns, somebody gets spotted, which I'm going to be sad about, but... at the end of the day, we can still walk this 1 AP forward, get closer. We have some recoil, but whatever. Missed the coin flip, it's okay. Now, because there's that guard up there, we can't be incredibly loud. There's risk to us. Yeah, so that would be faster that way, but I can go this way and it's okay. If I went here... yeah, it's like outside of minimum range, so it's really not viable. I'm just going to try to be AP efficient. Obviously, you want to path this way, not that way, to not hit the camera. And then, yeah, you can see that she doesn't really run any more efficient than the Cyber Sword. Some of that is simply because... yeah, and this gun, I didn't check when it was going to be in earshot, but it's in earshot now, so it's a pistol angle. And, okay, that's actually really bad, because now we don't have an easy way of killing this guy in time. And I think we just tanked the escalation. I don't think he's going to have a realistic scenario where he kills this guy. Like, even if we went here, we would theoretically just barely be in range. But I think that would be really hard to land all the shots. I mean, if we landed both shots, they would die. But I would lose... functionally several turns worth of being able to hack, and to me that's not worth it. So I'm just going to run in a straight line. I'm going to tank the security, not quite escalation, but obviously tally gained. And then I'm going to grab this host first, because that way I can disable a lot of these traps and stuff and make the rest of my job a little bit easier. So, 1 more AP that he can get there. We'll tank a bunch of security. Yeah, so, of course, intruders reported. And, of course, the other 2 guards are dispatched because we... you know, to be fair, we weren't guaranteed the damage, right? We failed 2 coin flips. We needed to win them both. So, the odds of actually killing this guy were, you know, 25%, so not high. Thankfully, he is hidden, though. And only these ones are spotted, so... obviously kill her before she gets to attack. These guys will run to investigate, but won't get to me easily. I want to keep making forward progress, so I'm going to spend 2 AP to walk closer, and then we'll spend the other 2 AP on attacks. And then beyond that, I can probably yield. We unfortunately only grazed. Now, one note of graze math. Grazes always do at least 30% maximum damage. But the actual damage is functionally based on your chance to hit, and then what you actually rolled. Like, if you graze, like, if you have 80% accuracy, and because of that you have a guaranteed graze, and you roll a 79, you're going to get, you know, almost, like, relatively close to full damage. If you roll a 0, you're going to get farther away from what would be full damage. And of course, similarly, if you're like, your, you know, hit chance that's like 1%, but it's guaranteed graze because of melee range, you just, doesn't matter what you roll, you're always going to get, I mean, I guess if you roll a 99, you know, or whatever, then I guess you would hit, but yeah. Anyway, fully yielding seems correct here to let these guys move. Actually, if they run towards Casper, I'm really sad. That's the tough thing is, you're not going to run fast enough to catch me. You are going to run here, which should be that way. I'm going to risk that. I'm going to, well, I'm going to choose to risk it. It might be incorrect. Here, I'm going to have you delay as well then, to just, like, make sure we get... Yep, you're going that way, is what I thought. Okay, you see me. You're out of AP, though. You're going to run over as well. You don't quite see the hacker, but you might during the next turn. Okay. I'll have to be smart about that one. Now, the unfortunate thing here is that this camera is going to see this body, so we're going to get a bunch of security escalation. There's really no good way around this. I could choose to not be seen by the camera. By going for gunshots instead of melee attacks, we lose AP, but we gain not getting seen by the camera, which is pretty valuable. I'm going to move 1 AP closer. Also supposed to be, well, a little bit closer to behind cover against this guy. There's really no way around it. It's just take 3 shots and hope it goes well. Have to reload next turn. Oh, wow. Nice. Good crit. So I'm going to choose cover. And even like I'm not technically behind full cover, this still puts me in a spot where, this actually, it's going to turn back to me and see me. I should try to be like here. Like, actually, these might still overlap. I'm not sure, but anyway, we can start hacking. 1 AP to get close, and let's go. As always, load the programs. CPU is going to be in one of these 3, I believe. So I'm going to probably choose to go down first. Let's see. I think going down first is fine. I'm actually going to leave this here for now. And the reason is there's a good chance there are traps here. And when the AI escalates, what's going to happen is, so it's possible, basically, like, when a node says scan 2 of 2, you can't scan anymore. Even if I had it loaded, I couldn't do anything with it. Obviously, I can just do this, and then I have it anyway. But I can't scan again, because it's 2 out of 2. There's a button, doesn't matter, doesn't do anything. So what's interesting is, depending on what escalations you get here, it can demote nodes back to 1 out of 2. Meaning that, like, hey, something may have changed here. You don't have full information anymore. And because of that, that will once again ping the outside nodes, and it will actually reveal traps on neighboring nodes. And so it can actually be optimal to bypass this stuff a little bit early on. Okay. So, let's see. We cannot load this anymore because we don't have... Right, so I don't want to walk over there and just, like, kind of tank getting hit. So even, you know, it's kind of unlucky we hit active ice every single time. So we kind of burned through all of our program IO and we've got all this, you know, other stuff available. Which actually leads me to believe that I want to, you know, just kidding actually. Let's be efficient and walk over and, okay, cool, it's a trap. If you exit relocate, fine. Thankfully it was a trap that didn't, like, punish me for being here, but... oh well. Anyway. And for now, And I will try to knock down alarm pieces. I believe shooting him is not correct. I'll try to do the better job of what he did, which is be clearly outside this cone and try to also be outside that cone so that I don't get seen by cameras. I believe this will be outside of this camera as well. Just by the fact it's over there means it's clearly true. Take the reload. So of course we get our escalation. And the protocol is plus tally. Katu and Ulto have been sent to intercept. Right, so now these two have been grabbed. And where we got seen was here, right? This turn ended with you seeing me here, as well as the camera seeing some stuff. The radar did see both Casper and Hemlock, so it may send them this way. I don't think I can burst this guy easily. Well, okay, what I could do actually is buff initiative here and try to burn him down all in the same turn. Basically, I can spend 1 AP buffing him, go to about here, and just barely have line of sight. That's probably better, actually. Well, I guess I would spend 2 AP getting closer. That doesn't really matter. I think we go for the shots here. I think we have the chance to hit. The requisite chance to hit is going to be here. Oh, we are outside range. Okay, I'm going to crouch. I'm going to delay. You are also going to walk up and crouch, because I'm going to need you to run at me here. Casper's hopefully fine. Fingers crossed. I don't want to get relocated randomly, so I'm going to go ahead and disarm this. And then continue on downwards. I don't want to deal with plus tally. Sure. Walk over here. Unload programs. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Scan. Okay. I don't care. Actually, I do, because I need to get scan loaded back up. Okay, so because we scanned 2 of 2, and this didn't reveal, this must be the CPU. Spiking the CPU takes down security level by 2 full levels, so, you know, we didn't, like, mistime stuff. If you use a program, steal 10 AP. I kind of want to save the other charge of null op if I can, and just use attack. It's going to be really bad on a, like, IO standpoint. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. I'm just going to burn it because there was a real chance that there was a second trap there, and I don't want that to happen. I didn't want to get hit by that, so I chose a slightly safer route. Scan for a trap. We find one. If you download relocate. I don't believe it's a second trap. I'm not going to burn the charge of scan because I can use it later. Okay, so looks like the alarm stuff is near the top. I will try to grab it. I think it's worth it. I might change my mind over time, but for now, that's going to be the current plan. But we know that all the trap disabling stuff is up here, and that we've got all of these, you know, nodes still to grab. The rest of this one, these 3, and then come up here and, you know, see which of these 4 nodes are valuable. All right, well, you're done for now. We can just delay with you, and then you're going to walk up. You've been told to move around, but you're moving randomly, which is actually kind of good for me. You're behind some cover, which sucks, but we can sort it out. Okay, so unfortunately, he got into a spot where we don't have line of sight on him, which surprises me, but is what it is. The other fortunate thing is I've got exactly 5 AP remaining, which means I can't do completely clean shots here. -3 from recoil. I'll just shoot, reload, shoot. It's fine. Coin flips aren't great, but I think we'll be okay. You know what's actually nice is these guys can't hear it. There's no one else alive, so I can go for a really heavy burst here. Yeah, he's got some accuracy reduction from the cover, but we get a lot of chances. Unfortunately, we only hit 1 of those shots, and now our chance to hit really sucks. Wow, we hit the 14%. That is huge. All right, Inkblot, don't let me down, please. Yeah, I couldn't even slash that into you. I wouldn't get in a range. There's no way. Was basically get to within 3 AP. I really can't break out of the low cover. If I have to go closer, I will. Yeah, I'm not missing any accuracy from range, so it's better to take 2 shots than to gain, like, a little bit. So 1 and 3 twice is about a coin flip. Okay, we got a little bit lucky, but thankfully we knocked him down. The other downside, though, is that body timer is going to time out pretty soon, and so it's going to get worse. Only 2 guards on the map. Let's see what the escalation is. Is it reinforcements? Yes. Okay. And so we got some pretty meaty ones. We also got spotted. So, yeah, we're getting a lot of escalation every turn from the camera. We're going to get a lot of escalation every turn from body timers, you know, slowly running out. And what we've got here also are some... These aren't too bad, right? This guy's just a dude with a shotgun. He's got a shield, which can be scary. Another whistler, so, you know, okay, be careful. They can fire full auto. The bigger one, though, is this guy with the urban assault, which is going to have more damage overall. And the relatively high armor, so... This gets a little bit tougher. Thankfully, they don't know where we are yet. These 2 will be sent my way, and I will let them come to me. Also, I have Tax Surge, which I just might as well hit every turn. I expect we'll have combat this turn. These are all still down. When you download... Prevent download access, same stuff. So scanned 1 of 2. Oh, I need to actually reload scan. And there we go, we can see the traps. If you load a program, I will not do that. At least not on that square. If you load a program, again, won't be doing that there. And I get to head back the other way now. Great. Okay, I can knock... I'm going to scan this, look for traps. There is one, as expected. Ow. Program loading and download a file. Well, I can get rid of both cleanly with action points, and then I'll have to reload my other stuff later on. That's just fine. Looks like during next turn, I should be in a decent spot to knock everything out. The only downside is I won't have null op up for a while, and that'll likely not be up for the CPU and the other Matrix host, which is why I was really considering... Wait, did I not spike the CPU when I was done? I might not have actually spiked it. I will probably run down and check, because normally the icon changes when you spike it, so I think I might have screwed up there. It doesn't change that much. Like, the only actual upside is, again, -2 security level, and there's no reason to do it at the end of the thing. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Once again, yield to them moving. Up they went. You're running over. Yep, so they all run up. They're all running up to me. Okay, so we probably try to kill these 2. Because these guys are far enough away, they're not going to see me very easily. But these ones are more of a concern. Where have you been sent? Okay, yeah, they're not going to be near. They're just kind of doing normal patrols for now. So I think the play is... Yeah, and I can't get somewhere where I don't get heard. Or can I? Yeah, this gun is way too loud. I have to go really far to not get heard. Like, even if I'm there, I get heard. So it's like, yeah, I could go there, right? If I wanted to go as far away as I possibly could. We're fortunate that for some reason they're looking the wrong direction, and so I'm allowed to, like, get pretty far. Technically, the only thing that sees me is the camera, and I get to shoot full auto, which is, you know, really good for damage, of course, so I guess that's the play. This will turn and see me again. I have no way around that. But I think that's weirdly the play. It's just, like, very strange... like full sprint. The crits are nice, and by critting, we hit them with downer, and so we get to take their initiative, or their evasion down by 10%, and we get to further lower their initiative to make sure that we're going first next turn. Slash sliding here seems pretty reasonable. We'll see if 4 AP is going to be enough to slash slide to a good location. It's about to recharge fully anyway, so... Yeah, the only downside is you can't slash slide outside the ring. And so I'm only getting 1 hit here, but it's still 2 AP of movement, as well as 2 AP of damage for 2 AP, so good enough. Let's go ahead and roll on this guy, who's going to be hard for the other guy to reach. Unforge. Alright, Hemlock, I'm really trusting you here, buddy. Please don't let me down. I don't want to get more escalations. I'm probably going to run to here, which is 5 AP remaining. I do have a slash slide, which I'm quite yeah, I'm definitely going to use. We are rolling on both of them. We get a hit, and it won't matter, but we got a graze. Alright, so you're done. Putting you forward seems fine. Not sure what I'm looking to do with him, but I figure being closer to where the combat's going to be seems worthwhile. And if I have a bunch of downtime, I can always just like, grab this box and come back if anything happens. Alrighty. So, we ran through that camera. Okay, so I guess I didn't realize that only that one moves. Okay, disabled, disabled. Download, scan. Okay. I do want to knock these down. I think it is correct for me to do so. So I'm going to run over here. And then I don't care about the laser meshes, but I do care about the radar arrays. So yeah, these laser meshes are just not going to be used. I'm just not going to run that way. Not for a while. So I will turn off the radar. Make my job a little bit easier. Here, damage to cyber deck matters. Remote controls matter. And we turn off the other radar. Although it won't matter as much since we're kind of behind it now. The bioscan field is actually something that I would run through and would care about. So I will turn this off. And then, yeah, really quickly, do I care about this? And I feel like yeah, I feel like I mean, for 5 Matrix AP, right? The chance I run by that is likely enough, rather. We get to see both traps because it was already partially revealed. Kind of nice. Use a program, download an account. Have to kill both. And I will almost certainly need both scan and trap removal next turn. So I'll spend 2 AP to run forward. Cannot scan for this, so we hope it's not something really annoying. But during next turn, we'll escalate to 7. We'll get rid of this thing, and we can run across and start the next hack. Now, we'll still be a turn down for hard shell and overclock, but we'll figure out a way to deal with everything. And we have enough connection out that we're fine. I can also choose to kind of park for a turn. Let's see, so you guys are kind of running around so far still. So I'm not in a rush to do anything. So I can save the delay. Same for you. Okay, you're hunting randomly now. But you're not seeing me, so it's fine. You can keep delaying. You're running over to where the body was. Yep, indeed he's dead. Okay, now you're hunting randomly. So we're kind of chilling for a bit. But we are about to hit an escalation. Okay, well, looks like reloading is reasonably safe here. You are still standing, which is, you know, that's fine with me. If you do nothing, I'm chilling. Yeah, actually the bioscan field is down, so I might as well grab loot and get a little bit more centralized so that I have the ability to react when it's necessary. We get a lot of stuff here. These are like clearly worth grabbing. Really good amount of money. A solid file or account to knock out to get more money. Get behind cover to be safe. And then while I'm here, Gunner may as well complete the actual mission. Just tap the terminal. The knight who came before me must have snuck it in here. Now, we could just ditch, right? We could dip, and we could dip right through here. We, of course, chose to not knock down the laser mesh, but we can walk in a straight line here, and it's fine. Yeah, there's 2 cameras, but does it matter? No. But the alternative is to sit around and, you know, risk getting swarmed by enemies to hack a Matrix host for loot. Unfortunately, we're not getting the under 3 security level. If we chose to hack nothing, we probably could have grabbed this 2 turns ago and been on our way out, and it probably would have worked. But I still like my greedy acquisition of loot, so we're playing it this way instead. I want to be behind some cover just in case stuff gets kind of funky. We probably are going to end up meeting around up here and trying to go pretty hard. But the radars being off is nice. Down for 4 turns, down for 4 turns. Pretty useful. This, again, is mostly just loot. There's no special things it's attached to. And then, yeah, if you walk here, you get seen. You're just, like, clearly in the vision cone if it happens. Or the audio cone, which is also bad. Nothing else from the do, really. I guess I could... One thing I could do is throw down a smoke screen. But I'd rather have that, like, tactically as a response to something. So, I think... I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run here and then duck and then get closer and then wait for them to continue to act. I guess I'm, you know, risking it a little bit by being so close, but ducked behind cover should be okay. If I'm wrong, it's gonna get really ugly, but I think we're okay. Yeah, seconds that are reinforcements is scary enough that I am considering just dipping. And I think it is correct actually to say, you know what? There's enough people here that it's probably better to leave. Unfortunately, Casper's also to get through his turn. I don't have a way of changing the outcomes here. And he's rolled a 10, so like, I really can't get these guys to go slower. Well, okay, I can do a little bit, right? I could do look ahead plus interference spike. And that puts, you know, only these ones go before Casper, and it's not quite as bad. I still want to grab this though, but I can probably swing that. So, yeah, I think sticking around for this host is not worth it with my gear still being pretty low level. I have access to very, very few stuns. And we can just take a much safer route of just, yeah, quickly grab the box, then get out. I think that's just better overall. I'm going to throw a smoke screen down. And then I'm going to wait and let this guy move. But he probably won't see Casper anymore. Inkblot, I think her getting farther away is also correct. Basically just like being behind enough cover that these guys don't see you. I'll still yield just like in case she has to do something for some reason. You're finally moving. But you're not anywhere useful, so it's fine. And then where are you guys headed? Okay, random patrols, not too bad. Actually looks like it's a... Yeah, we're going to get more escalations here. We're going to 4. But I think going for the kills isn't quite worth it. Yeah, smoke cloud pretty helpful there. It helped make sure Casper wasn't seen. We've got the last little bit to deal with. Again, I can't scan. Let's load up disarm. Nothing annoying, I hope. When you download, fine. Alright. So, you know, could potentially have... I mean, I could still make the choice to say, hey, let's grab this host, but I don't like how swarming with enemies this is, and I figure, you know what? Yeah, there's some loot that we could be getting, but this is a power level 0 mission in terms of, like, mission rewards. As far as I can tell, both in mission as well as, like, the money and XP, but, like, loot boxes and hosts as well, are based on your Merc company's power level. And then your difficulty sliders influence the quality of guards. And that's why, like, there's a mission power level of, like, 4. But my power level when the mission was generated was 0. And so it's level 0 loot with level, like, 4 guards. And that's how difficulty basically works in this game. So you'll hear me, and I just don't care that you're going to hear me. Is, I guess, the play, right, is... yeah, glitching for moose speed won't really change anything. So they hear me. We get more security. This better be good. 6K. Okay, this wasn't great. Yeah, it's a keep running angle. They hear me. I'm still behind smoke. But if he rolls bad on initiative, it's going to get a little ugly. Okay, that wasn't horrible. Inkblot, sadly, would get seen by the overlapping cameras. And honestly, I'm not in a rush because we're waiting for everybody else as well. So go ahead and end your turn. Ah. Okay. Stuff was turned back on by the escalation. Fine. Also, the permanent 5 tally is a little rough as well. The nice thing is, though, is that turn 7 means Tactical Surge is back. And so we get a little bit of initiative. I get to turn off at least one of the cameras. Turn off that one. I'm going to only run part way, so that I can buff somebody with, like, pure advantage if they absolutely need it. So far they don't, but if they did, you know. And then for funsies, I might be seen. Yeah, whatever. There's not much else to do. I might as well turn off this oh, I can't. I'm not in range. Okay. How far from range am I? Okay, not far. We'll spend 1 AP getting a little bit closer. I'll easily make it next turn. And we'll turn off that camera for good measure. Shouldn't matter, but hey. Yeah, they are running closer. Thankfully, I can run away. You don't need to stick around any longer. He's taking damage mostly just from hacking feedback. That's, you know, one of the ice, like, answers. But it's never enough to trigger stress, so he's fine. Yeah, so he's running to, like, hey, I heard noises, but he obviously can't see us. Thanks, smokescreen. Alright, absolutely not going to be a problem now to get everyone back out. Unfortunately, only Hemlock is a slow one because he, you know, kind of waited to grab the loot. So we hit, you know, security level 5. It is very tough to do this one on low security if you actually grab Matrix hosts. Which, I thought it was fine to grab one. It was easy enough. Hemlock rolls high, that's nice. One thing I could have done, although a lot of it was I didn't even look, is I could have thrown down pre-computed advantage before my Cyber Knight left and made sure this guy had, like, a, you know, 28% initiative, but obviously he's fine. So a lot of escalations. Oh well. We definitely could have run this really quickly. I've never bothered to play it that way, but it is, you know, a functional, playable possibility. Alrighty, we've completed the set of odd jobs for Octane and paid off our Cyber Spine. She's the Kingmaker's Hand, ready to vault to the top of D Street Cartel. All right, cool. Great. No more debt, and we'll join her when she wants to go overtake D Street. What do you think we should say? Doesn't matter. We're finally free of the debt. Thanks, everybody. Or it's going to be even more difficult. To the top. The road gets steeper. So yeah, 10 heat. We got our 2 million in debt. We got trust from, I'm unsure. We would have gotten one of the other secondary objectives done. Regardless, though, right, in physical loot from the 4 boxes we looted, it wasn't too bad. Pretty good amount of money. For the Matrix host, even though it was only 1 host, we got quite a lot of stuff, and a lot of these are, like, relatively high level and quite valuable. Accounts are pure money, which is nice. I mean, I guess so are files, I guess, but pretty good stuff. Pretty good payout. Okay, so what I was hoping on was that this would not advance while I was in the mission. That was correct. I had gotten a message here where he's like, hey, I want somebody to run a favor for me. And the best person for this mission is my Agent EX. And so what I was hoping was going to be true was that this wouldn't be done. I could talk to him and say, hey, buddy, I would like to do legwork for you. I will send my Agent EX. I get 1 chance, 1 week. If I fail, we get some heat and we don't get anything special. But if we win, we get to advance towards leveling him up. We get favors with him as well, which is nice. And if he wins, he gains some XP and stuff as well. And because these are now both on the timeline, we can hit boost legwork. And they both get the 10%. Alrighty, next episode, we'll see how everything went. And we'll find our next mission, because right now I guess I do have this CPU spike ready to go. Well, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.